Hey guys, Scott here with a new beer dissection for you today. Like I've done in the past, those of you, especially in upstate New York, I got a bunch of crowlers delivered from Lake Placid Pub and Brewery in Lake Placid, New York. Those of you that are familiar up there, Lake Placid Pub and Brewery is the mothership, and then they have Big Slide Brewery about a mile or two down the road. Is their second brewery, and they're opening one, I believe, in Saranac, either later this year or early in the spring. I don't remember what the update is on that one. So I'm gonna have a few videos. If you go into my What Is Style, not sorry, What Is Style, my beer dissection, I have a bunch of beers from them, like the famous Ubu Ale and a bunch of other ones. So if you're interested in that, take a look at that. What I have today from them is what they call Colonel's Kolsh, okay, at 5.4. Those of you I know are more beer geeks than others, I will probably at the end of this video put my What Is Style. I did go into a lot more detail about Kolsch. So if you like that, I'll probably have it at the very end, or just look under my playlist under What Is. And I go through a lot of things with Kolsch, because Kolsch is from Cologne, Germany, or Köln, on the Rhine River Valley. And they drink this beer, and I'm going to be using my tulip glass today. I don't have a Stange, but they use a Stange glass, which is like a flat side glass, which is about 200 milliliters. I think that's about 6 ounces, 7 ounces. So I go into a little more about the style, what to look for in the style, some of the metrics with the style, some of the history with the style with Cologne. And it is a kind of an appellation that you only can call Kolsch in Cologne, Germany. And I go in through some of the beer culture on that style is pretty cool at some of the beer pubs that they do in Cologne, putting ticks on the coaster and things like that. So again, I won't go too much down a wormhole with that, but if you do find that stuff interesting, look for it. I'll probably, when I edit this, I'll have it tagged at the very end of the YouTube video. You can find like the little box. If you're not, that's fine also. All right. So let's take a look at this one. Again, it's called Colonel's Kolsh. Okay. So let's crack this open. If I can get it open. Okay. So as I'm pouring this, just some basic things about this style. I mean, it's going to look like, International Pale Lager. It may look like a Pilsner in your glass. Sorry guys, quick pause there. As I was pouring it, sometimes you're pouring from those crowlers, you kind of spill out a little bit. So I just wanted to clean it up some. So again, it's going to, like I was saying, it was going to look like in the glass, kind of like an International Pale Lager. Now, obviously, this style is nothing like that. It is an ale, even though you lager it. Remember, lager is cold storage. But this one in particular, they are using the strain of yeast from Cologne. Okay, so what we have here is a nice white, about inch and a quarter, dense head. We're getting some nice frothing on top, kind of like I always like to compare it to like Cool Whip or any type of whipped cream that you have in there, or beating even meringues, okay? Color, pretty standard for the style. You kind of got that medium straw to light gold color. Pretty clear. I mean, my glass is, it's a little hazy, but it's not from the beer. It's actually from the change in temperature I had thrown these came warm because they were shipped to me. So I had thrown in the freezer real quick. So there's a contrast. So that's why we're getting a little bit of the condensation in the glass, but it is a pretty clear beer and looks exactly to style from the BJCP. Okay. So let's take a sniff of the aroma. Right. So no doubt you get that. With Kolsch, you're going to get like aromatic, sometimes of pear, apple, sweet kind of malt smell, which you get here, which is kind of light toast, white bready type of aroma. There is some herbal character to it, which I'm sure if they're using the authentic yeast from Cologne, they're probably using authentic German hops like Hallertau Mittelfrüh. They're using probably Tettnang, Spalt. I don't know the exact ones they're using, but I get that same familiar aroma. that I smell in a lot of German Pilsners. So I would expect they're probably doing the same thing. So kind of herbal, kind of like a estery apple pear aroma. Okay, don't confuse it like with a lot of your continental U.S. hops. They kind of give you a lot like fruit juices and things like that. That's not what you're getting here. You just kind of get just a touch of the aromatics of a apple pear and just a sweet malt. But again, that, without a doubt, there is some pronounced aroma from the German hops, kind of like floral, herbal, perfumey, even like a slight spice on the nose. All right, guys. So let's just, Oktoberfest just ended about a week or two ago. So I'll just say Prost or cheers. Okay, let's taste this. Wow. Medium high carbonation, which is great. You want this, this is kind of your patio crusher. I mean, it's not a very high alcoholic strength beer. And the style isn't either. The style, I think, if I'm a little rusty with my numbers, I want to say it's 4.3 to 5.3 in the ballpark. Don't mark me down for the exact number there. I'm a little rusty with those. You get that same, light bread crust, water cracker, bread crummy kind of malt, but as well as the same thing with the estery apple slight pear kind of a very sweet malt driven. Okay, so again, I don't want you to make it think that you're drinking like apple juice or pear juice, but you kind of get the esters from there. It is an ale, okay, even though again it is lagered usually, but it is an ale. Remember, lagers are a different style of beer, but or a different family of beers that fall in there, but lagering, remember, is cold storage, and it kind of settles a lot of particulate and, brings on even some qualities of a lager there too at the very end of it. The bitterness is kind of low to moderate, and you'd expect it. I think I actually saw what this one's at. There's like 18 IBUs. So again, you're not looking, remember, German Pilsners are around 35 to 40, give or take, with their bitterness. So you usually get a lot more sharp, bitter character to it, which is usually welcome for that style. This is going to drink, I always say this style is kind of somewhere between like a Munich Helles and that German Pilsner or Czech Premium Pale Lager as far as the bitterness. It's usually softer, but again, you do have enough ester character and fruit character to kind of mellow this out. I find this is like your patio crusher. It's just very easy drinking. And so if you are someone who likes American lagers, like Budweiser, and you're looking to get into something different, find a Kolsch. All right, if you can't get this one in Lake Placid Pub and Brewery, Gaffel Kolsch is a import. Fru, F-R-U-H, is another one that's very popular. You may find those in the United States if you do like Kolsch, but I would definitely check that out. It'd be a nice little segue to getting into other craft beers. No alcoholic warmth, which you wouldn't expect, but nice carbonation and the sweetness of the malt and those estery components from the ale yeast, for the Cologne ale yeast strain. It's drinking very similar to Gaffel Kolsch, even though people would yell at me from Cologne. But that's the one I usually drink more often. I can't find Fru as often, but the Gaffel Kolsch is like that. It's just kind of sweet malt, low bitterness, easy drinking, and you kind of get enough esters from there. So anyway, guys, this is a nice production from Lake Placid Pub and Brewery. Again, I don't know why I keep showing the can, because I'm probably going to have a picture of it over my shoulder. It's their version of a Kolsch, Colonel's Kolsch. I would definitely check it out. Grade-wise, listen, I'll give it an A- because, it's hard to compare to your Gaffels and your Frus, but for overall drinkability and enjoyability, I give it an A+. I bring it down to that A- maybe, if I was going to compare it to the big boys like Gaffel and Fru, but really easy drinking, exceptional beer. You could pair this with most foods, barbecue, ribs, pizza. I mean, it just drinks that easy. So again, don't get intimidated if you are a Bud, Miller, Coors drinker. Try something like this as a Kolsch, and that's usually what I recommend people to try out at their local brewery. If they are more familiar with those other styles of beer, this was going to have a lot more complexity as just a general style. And again, a winner here once again by Lake Placid Pub and Brewery. Let me show it to you one more time. You can see nice gold, dark straw, light gold color, and fantastic. Really enjoying it. So again, hang tight if you want to watch that video. Click on it. I go into a lot more history about Kolsch and the beer culture. Or check it in my playlist under What Is Style. You'll see What Is Kolsch. And I do another Kolsch there. I may have even had Gaffel when I did the beer dissection. All right, guys. Beer dissection, Lake Placid Pub and Brewery, Colonel's Kolsch. Till the next beer dissection or beer video in general, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.